I'm Phil Terone, Senior Editor of Make Magazine.
And I'm Bree Pettis, Media Maker here at Make Magazine.
And we've got Volume 7 of Make. This is the backyard biology issue.
We just got these in our hot little hands today. Very exciting. There's some really cool stuff in here, and we just wanted to tell you about it so that you could know about it.
What's the first thing on our list? We've got the CVS rocket. Gosh, what a...
John Mousehammer.
Yeah, I just call him the Hammer. This guy is awesome. So, from the beginning, the CVS disposable digital camera has been taken apart, hacked, and despite what the company wanted, which is great, but because of this tension between the two, there's these wonderful projects. So one of the first ones we saw was, we'll reuse the camera and do different things with it.
This is the camera that you were supposed to take pictures of and then take it in and have them...
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Take the digital pictures out themselves and
yeah,
charge you
and that's fine, and it's a great thing to do. But what you can do with it is, I saw infrared goggles, underwater cameras, and in our latest volume of Make, we have how to put it on a rocket, and we actually have the rocket here. And normally, the way to do something like this would cost a lot, and there's a good chance your camera would break. But because they're consumer grade, which is probably more durable than military grade in some cases,
yeah.
They won't break either. Like, these things survive for the most part, and it's tiny. I mean, look at it.
Yeah, it's very light. He replaced the battery. Instead of having heavy two 1.5 volt batteries, he replaced it with one, I think it's a CR2 3-volt battery,
yeah,
which is a lot lighter. I really like John's footage when he actually shot it up at his house, and it goes up and kind of spins around, and you see it pop off and it falls down to earth.
Yeah,
it's very exciting.
Yeah, and it's a good resource. Like, there's a lot of these how-tos scattered around, and I think we did a good job of putting them together so people could build this.
Yeah, his site, he really got into just nailing this thing and pounding into it until he could do what he wanted with it, and it's worth checking out.
Yep. So next up on our list is we've got the survival
plant
research.
thing.
Oh, which one? Do you want to do plants or survival research?
Oh yeah, let's do survival research.
All right. So you went and visited SRL, right?
Yeah, I got invited over to their workshop, which was intense. It's like this workshop, you wouldn't expect it to be there. It's in kind of behind it. It's behind a park in a secret location, and you can build anything there.
So I was taken there, but I had to have a hood and a blindfold on. But that's how I normally travel, so maybe it wasn't so bad.
I mean, SRL is it's just Dare to Dream. They're like, okay, let's build a hovercraft. They're like, let's make it really big, and then they're like, let's power it with pulse jets.
Yeah. So they have a show coming up soon. So I'm sure by the time folks are watching this, there'll be pictures of the carnage and the hopefully not too much human carnage.
I'm going this Friday, so I'll put some footage of that now.
We've got the 3D plants, is the 3D plant photography that Mike Wilder did.
Now this is funny because what was that thing about the guy who said he couldn't do it?
Yeah, so this is an interesting project. So basically it's using Legos with a rig to take these 3D photos of plants. And when we talked to the maker, he said, I had a guy who had a PhD in physics tell me, you're an idiot if you think you can do that with Lego. And I always think that's the worst thing you can say to anyone, because there's two things they're going to do. They're probably going to build it in Lego, and you're going to look stupid, but they're going to build something in Lego that they really shouldn't have. So now there's this new thing in Lego. It's completely ridiculous. But of course, that's where you get some interesting innovation. So a 3D camera out of Lego, this is stuff that when everyone remembers The Matrix, and you move like they do, and Keanu getting shot, you could do that with a plant.
This is the Lego version.
This is the Lego version of plants. Plants in The Matrix, I guess.
The way stereo photography usually works is you have two cameras that work kind of like your eyes and take two pictures. And the way he did it is he made one camera do it, and then he moved it a little bit so that it took a Let's see, what's up next? The Stirling engine.
Yeah, the Stirling engine is interesting because it's almost mythical in its history. Can it be built? Should it be built? Will you actually be able to build an engine that can be powered by any heat source? And you know, there's still a lot of new technology coming along. This might be an engine that we see in commercial vehicles, or using to purify water, because you know, you could just use any heat source, and one of its outputs is heat itself. So we actually show you how to build one.
This is the Stirling engine that Jake built. Matt, tell us a little bit about the history of the Stirling engine.
The Stirling engine was actually patented in 1816 by a Scottish cleric, and in 1820 they got it up to 45 horsepower in a stone quarry, which we can only imagine the size and scale of that, probably some kind of steam engine.
Jake, tell us a little bit about how it works here.
The Stirling engine is built from a couple soup cans and a couple soda cans that are connected with a copper chamber here that's made out of a T and a couple elbows. The soda cans are connected to dowels, which connect to the crank rod.
And you know, if you have geeky friends and you're building a Stirling engine, that's always cool. They're like, oh my god, you get a Stirling engine.
Yeah, and you get to run it with the, like, you could just, it's just cool to pull one of these out and be like, oh yeah.
You know, let me turn on my Stirling engine. All right, next up we've got the steampunk guy, who we've covered a lot on Make. He makes the coolest things in the world. They're steam engine powered robots.
This one, it walks. It's a quadruped, and basically it walks on all fours. The steam engine powers this flywheel here, and there's the sprocket and chains, and it basically gears it way down so that it can perform the function. Throughout all these gears, it basically just walks.
They're pretty incredible to watch. And just the idea of a robot kind of like putting along using steam is pretty neat to watch. So he talks about all the things that goes into it, which is great.
I can't wait till like somebody donates like an old school steam like locomotive to him.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, make your walker, but make it like this 40 feet long.
You know, I'm interested to see what happens as people learn about his projects and realize that, you know, these would make wonderful kids' toys. like what a great way, like build a steam-powered robot.
Yes.
I mean, there's some heat source issues, but and you know, there's some. But you know, kids are smart now. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't need warning labels.
And there's the whole fire thing. Once you touch it once, you pretty much know how it works.
Yeah, exactly. So.
This is the companion video to Make Magazine, Volume 7. There's a lot more in here that we're not talking about.
Yeah, there's the table of contents, sample videos, and everything else. And do kick the tires on it, or check it out at your local bookstore.
All right, so I'm Bree Pettis.
Let's run.
Catch you later.